Hey guys, welcome back to another Who Is episode, and on today's episode we are going to be talking about NYCK DE VRIES, the Formula E champion, as he will be joining AlphaTauri for the 2023 season. Let's get into it. Right, so as always, we'll talk about his early life first, and well, we start with where and when he was born, and that was the 6th of February 1995. I know, he's pretty old, not gonna lie, in the Dutch village of, now, this is a bit of a mouthful, I'm gonna try my best, sorry to all the Dutch people if I mispronounce this, but Uitwellingerega. Oh, I hope I said that ish right. Probably not, but yeah, he was the first child to his parents Naomi Hesseling, great name, and Hendrik Jan Vries, who also was his manager in his early karting days. Like, I'm starting to see, obviously, as expected, a lot of the fathers of Piastri, Sargent, and now NYCK DE VRIES have all been their managers early on. And I guess that's how they really get into the sport. But anyway, let's get on to his early karting career. Now, from what I couldn't find it anywhere before 2008 where he was karting. So for karting, that's really late age to start, if that is true that he started in 2008. But basically what I found is that he won the WSK World Series for the KP3 category in his first year. Very good. And he also won the German Junior Championship that same season. So honestly, a great start to his karting career. Not everyone can say they won their first championships in their first seasons. Then in 2009, he then won these championships again, doing the back-to-back. Also, he won the European KF3 Championship this year and finished off his karting career with winning the Karting World Championship in 2010 and 11. So, this guy, before even getting into single-seater, won every championship he was in from 2008 to 2011. I, from all my research so far, have not seen anyone do that yet. And I know it's only karting, but wow, what a record. Well done, NYCK DE VRIES. But anyway, let's get into his Formula Renault days. Now, he joined Formula Renault in 2012, and not gonna lie, he was there for quite a while. And I will show you why, but he was there till 2015 doing Formula Renaults. Now, again, looking at all of the other drivers so far, that's a very long time to be in the Formula Renault category. But maybe because obviously Piastri and Sargent were a bit younger. Bear in mind, De Vries is 28. Very old now to join F1 at 28. Maybe the lower Formula divisions have changed since then. If anyone knows, put it in the comments. But maybe that's why. But basically, in 2012, he moved from karting to single-seater racing, going into the Eurocup Renault 2.0, finishing a respectable 5th in his rookie season, picking up 3 podiums along the way, also beating all of his teammates. I was a bit confused when it said all of his teammates, but I'm guessing that you have multiple teammates in the Formula Renault, because I guess you're all sort of in the Renault category. I don't know. But hey, he beat all of them, so it was a great start, considering he also ran in the Formula Renault 2.0 NEC for a few races, managing 10th in that series. Considering he only did a few races, that's incredible. Obviously, you're not going to expect to win that when you've only done a few races, but to finish 10th in a series that you barely did any races, very good start to his single-seater career. In 2013, he then stayed in Eurocup Renault 2.0, but switched teams to Keronen GP for the season. And this season, he won in Hungary and Spain, and again finished a respectable 5th in the championship. And like last season, he also took part in another single-seater competition, which was the Formula Renault 2.0 Alps, finishing 8th. Again, an improvement. Now, I don't know if he actually did every race for that season, but even if he did, 8th to 10th, he's getting better. Now, obviously, for F1, you kind of need to be winning all of your rookie stuff, but you know what? He's not into F3 or F2 yet, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. So then we move on to 2014, where, this is why I gave him the benefit of the doubt, this was his best season by far for single-seater. When I tell you this season was amazing, he won the Eurocup Renault 2.0, which he came 5th in the last 2 seasons, so he finally got better in that, and also won Formula Renault 2.0 Alps, so he won 2 single-seater championships, which is ridiculous. He must have been driving every weekend. ridiculous. Not only did he win those series, in the Euro Cup Renault 2.0, he beat the runner-up Dennis Olsen by a whopping 130 points. And he won 10 of the 14 races in the Formula Renault 2.0 Alps. That's just a ridiculous stat to have that season. 2014, he was going crazy. But then, obviously, that's when I thought he'd make the jump up to F3, but no, he didn't. He stuck around, where he then went on to the Formula Renault 3.0 series, finishing third in his first season for Dams, where he got 15 podiums and won the final race of the season, which then was good enough for him to move to the lower Formula divisions, which at the time was GP3. Now, he joined the GP3 series in 2016, racing for ART, or ART, I don't really know if it's ART or ART, finishing 6th, where he again picked up multiple podiums and race wins in Monza and Abu Dhabi. And for this season, his teammates were no other than Charles Leclerc and Alexander Albon. So, 6th is very good when you have those two for competition in your series. But then, in 2017, that 6th place was enough for him to move over to Formula 2 to race with Rapox, where he got his first win in the series at Monaco. Where better to get it, innit? And he finished 7th in his rookie season, which was pretty good. I mean, it's not amazing, like it doesn't stand out, but 7th, it's not terrible, but again, sort of expect better if you're going into F1. But don't worry, because then he rapidly improved in the next season, finishing a respectable 4th, considering he was closely behind the 3 main up-and-coming talents of that year. And if you can guess who they were, well done, because you should know these 3 are massive in F1 now. Well, 2 out of the 3 are, well, 1 out of the 3 realistically, if I get rid of the McLaren bias. But George Russell, Lando Norris and Alexander Albon were the ones that beat him. So pretty good, a 4th for that season considering. And it wasn't like he was far behind. He was, I believe, 10 points behind Norris or Albon. I can't remember which way they were. 17 points behind the other one. So pretty good. But then this would mean that he stayed in F2, you know, trying to see if he can improve. And he did. He eventually managed to win the championship in 2019 while racing for ART again, don't know which one it is, sweeping the floor of the competition, may I add, for that season. But sadly, due to a lack of financial backing, you know, trying to get him to slide into one of those seats, he wasn't big enough and it wasn't good enough for F1, as his teammate for that season, Nikita Mazepin, got the seat. Like I said, Mazepin obviously had a lot of backing and Haas needed it at the time. And I don't know if Nyck de Vries would have been going to Haas, considering they were part of the Ferrari family. Nyck de Vries very much was in the McLaren and Mercedes family. But you never know. In an alternate timeline, that could have happened. But anyway, because he could not rejoin F2 after winning it, and he had enough super license points, he then moved to Formula E to drive for Mercedes in the 2020 season, which would turn out to be a very good choice, finishing 11th in the standings, which, again, not the best, but considering Mercedes were a new team, getting used to Formula E, and obviously this was a new car for Nyck de Vries, as Formula E had been going on for a few years by then, things were about to dramatically change, and for the better. In the 2020-2021 season, he managed to win the Formula E title. Not only that, he won the championship in a tight battle all the way to the end of the season, just winning it, getting 8th in his final race, just enough points to win the championship. Well done, Nyck de Vries. But again, not enough to get into F1. And you've got to be thinking, what else does he need to do to get into F1? Well, just sadly, there were no seats. So then he stayed at Formula E for one more season, which, not gonna lie, was probably best to be forgotten about, as he only managed 9th in the championship. But this was fine, as de Vries had finally been signed for the 2023 season, as Alpha Tauri had got their hands on them after Gasly moved to Alpine. So now, with Nyck de Vries joining Alpha Tauri for the 2023 season, what will happen? What will happen to Nyck de Vries? Looks like he is better than Logan Sargent, but not as good as Oscar Piastri. And with being 28 years old, it's pretty old to be joining F1, so he sort of has to hit the ground running, considering his age and the talent that could be coming in, especially from the Red Bull Academy, which is like the most elusive talent finders in F1 these days. He's got to really show him who's boss for the 2023 season. But hey, no one knows until the end of the season. And hey, I want him to do well. He seems like a decent guy. And for me, I still don't think he'll ever win an F1 title, but hey, he definitely deserves his seat. He's had a few rough seasons outside of Formula 1, but with a Formula E title and an F2 title, what else do you really need to get into F1? Like, come on, he deserves to be given a chance. So hey, let's see if he's got the minerals to compete in the top tier of motorsport. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen.